in downtown Indy. Today we've got a Week 5 matchup in store here, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Indianapolis Colts. On the visitor sideline, Pete Carroll, the coach of the Raiders. His guys flew across the country for this one. Always tough to play in the early slate of games when making that trek. On the other side, the head coach of the home team. His guys ready to show out in front of the home fans as they try to send them home happy at the end of this one. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the one being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny in practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got out of it a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week.
First down, Raiders.
First down, they go right back to Pierce. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Well, this defense for the Colts, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
First down. First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll fake it. Now Smith. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Pierce will try to pick it up. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
A 50-yard attempt.
The kick by Carlson is good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
So now the Colts will get their first opportunity with a football. And they'll be let out by their 7th-year quarterback.
In his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Now Jones. Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Throwing Jones. flag down. He goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this is incomplete. Alec Pierce, the intended receiver. And it's third down. You look at this Raiders defense. They've been pretty good against the pass. Not amazing, but good. Number 13 in the league.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And
too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a fourth down.
Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 14-yard line.
Another carry for Pierce. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gain, they can run that play on any down.
Here we go.
Well, they run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And his throw here is incomplete.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Now Gino. And that will be incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Looking to throw. Jones. Quick slant caught by Pierce. Will go down as a gain of 6. And that'll make it 2nd down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd down at the 23-yard line.
Back to throw. Jones. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. First and 10, Taylor now. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
No gain on the play. Second and 10 at the 41-yard line.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
3-0 after one on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession as they've got it with a second and 10.
Ready. Panther 60, Panther 60. Let's go.
Operating from the gun, Jones. He'll dump this off to Taylor, complete. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's third and 10.
Let's go now. 19, Tiger, 19, Tiger. Buffalo 18. Check go.
Looking to throw, Jones. That is caught. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
Go. Cowboy 80. 72. Hey, switch.
Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay. Penalty accepted, and that pushes him back 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. First and 15 following the delay of game. Back to throw. Jones. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And he'll be taken down, although there is a flag down. Will this stand? So the holding call on the offense, so they go ahead and decline that one and take possession of the football on the INT. Running it out of the gun with Pierce. And he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Now a second and 10.
Brings up second and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Now it's Smith. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Tucker. They get 6. That'll leave them with third and 4.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it third and 4.
From the gun, here's Smith. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick. Everybody was coming on the blitz that time, and they got home.
And you know the expression, hat on a hat, in terms of blocking, trying to keep your quarterback protected? Well, if you don't have enough hats, that's the end result. Your quarterback goes down, and sometimes he goes down hard.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. And he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Colts offense and running back Jonathan Taylor heading back onto the field. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Incomplete. Brings brings up 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And he fires one, but incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
So from the 37, here's 2nd down and 3. And he is going to lose yardage here. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
The Raiders on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is brought in at the 21. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And out will come the offense as they take over. Looking to put a drive together. He'll start with a give to Taylor. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
He's got him in, complete. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Would have put him in the lead, but hold that thought.
Yeah, the celebration had to stop, didn't it? Because now you're on a real uptick. You're in the lead. Instead, you're still behind. Have to find a way to regroup.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw and coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a 4th down.
Shifts past him at the 45. 1:54 left on the clock here in quarter number 2. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Now Smith. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Out of the gun, Smith. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
The Colts going to take over now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Here's Jones, throwing to start the drive. That's to his tight end, Tyler Warren. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. A short one there, caught by Warren. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be from 56 yards out. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left. Halftime coming up. Let's get you down to Orlando and our buddy Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thank you. The first month of the season has come and gone. It's the first weekend of October, our first week with buys on the schedule. Lots to unpack, so let's get into it. Our tour of the league starts now. It starts in Cincinnati, the Bengals at home to take on the Detroit Lions. And it's the touchdown king from 2024, Jahmyr Gibbs. He gets past the first wave of the defense, and the race is on. From there, we go to SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Let's check in on the Chargers at home to take on Washington. And it's the veteran, Zach Ertz. One of his 2 touchdown catches in the game coming right here. The Commanders started 0-4, but they finally break through to get their first W of the year. Lastly, let's go over to MetLife Stadium. The Jets taking on the Cowboys. And here's the new signee from Denver, Javonte Williams. He only needs a little bit of breathing room, and he knows what to do with it. The Cowboys with an important W. They didn't want to start 1-4, and they won't following their victory here. With that, here's a look at the rest of the action from around the NFL here in Week 5, the first weekend of October. Meanwhile, in our game, not much offense to talk about. Just 1 field goal on the board. 3-0 the score. As we send you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Just one field goal in a tightly played first half as we resume action here in quarter number 3. He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Colts going to take over on offense to begin this third quarter. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. You know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
Second down, another run with Taylor. A strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
Here we go.
Back to throw now on first down. Well, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
60.
Looking to throw. Jones. Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Sutton. And the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Short throw caught by Bowers. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, that flag puts them on their heels a little bit more defensively as the officials walk it upfield.
Yeah, and they can blame the officials all they want, but bottom line, it's their own fault because, to me, that was an avoidable call. Stay focused and avoid major mistakes like that.
Yeah, maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. 40 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he'll find his way down right around the 12. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down. Here's Smith. That's to Bash over the middle. And the Raiders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. On the ground with a tight end. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Michael Mayer, his first touchdown on the year. As his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call.
And the Raiders pick it up. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Open man, the tight end Warren. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. And he is going to have a Colts first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And they get Jones for the 3rd time in this ball game. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Raiders force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Things just kind of continuing to unravel for them here in this second half. They take the shot downfield, but this defense, once again, up to the task.
Well, this is where you think about the old phrase, desperate times call for desperate measures, because they've got nothing on the scoreboard, and they're just trying to get something, anything to go their way. But in this case, they turn the ball over.
On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Open man is Tucker. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Geno now to throw. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they'll decline the penalty there and go ahead and keep the yards lost on that last play. Smith to Pierce. They set up the screen. Takes this to the 45. Got a little space after that nice move. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Throwing now is Geno. That's caught by Tucker. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 32-yard line. Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Smith. This one finds Pierce on the out route. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Pierce now up the middle. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Tackle made by Grover Stewart. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Indianapolis. They work now on 2nd and 9. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. It's complete to Lockett. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
So a decent gain there on the play, but that all gets wiped out with a penalty.
Well, that's a setback, but all the good play callers, they just move on. They find something else in the playbook that can attack this defense, and they go right back on the offensive on this play.
Now Gino.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. Facing some long odds here if they hope to convert as they're well behind the original line of scrimmage.
Smith. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to fourth down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So a big one coming now for Daniel Carlson. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
And that is incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. On the counter, it's Taylor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. Throwing Jones. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on third down. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones.
And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Colts unable to convert here on fourth down. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
1st and 10, it's Pierce.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Well, no doubt here in the fourth quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes.
Touchdown, Raiders!
Brock Bowers.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Raiders are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. It's an important touchdown right there, as now they're really beginning to pull away.
Yeah, this was a tight game until not too long ago. But since then, they've hit the accelerator, and they pushed the lead up to 3 scores here in the fourth quarter, and I don't see them looking back.
And able to get this out to the 25.
The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here.
It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter. And a big deficit, Charles, but they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board? So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
Now Jones. And the Raiders have got him. The offense on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 17. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Here we go, set. 60 Bison, 60 Bison. You got motion there right there.
Back to throw. Jones.
That's complete to his running back, Taylor.
That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Under pressure, and they get to him again. DeForest Buckner able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Daniel Carlson set for the Raider field goal. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. Carlson able to put this one through. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Brought down back at the 36-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
Set. 70 Lions. Seven Pirates. Check go.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jones.
This will be swung out wide for Taylor.
Calling a gain of 6 on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack is a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Let's go now. Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Oh, they're changing this at the line. They'll run for it. It's Taylor.
A solid stiff arm. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
On the ground, DJ Giddens. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Now 2nd and 9.
Looking to throw. Jones.
He'll check this one down to Taylor.
He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8.
Brings up 3rd down.
And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
Here comes 3rd and the length of the football.
Here we go, Shaq. 19.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game.
So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders.
And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
No, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Raiders, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.